Good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughan for Sam's Sports Report. Let's start off with college basketball. As we say goodbye to our Jayhawks and the Tigers after their second round exit, we'll go through who's leaving the Jayhawks and who's leaving the Tigers. But first, if you want to go look at Eric Musselman's shirt, man, he's a muscle man. It's a sight you might not want to see, or maybe you do. I don't know. Let's start out with the Jayhawks. Because of his fourth year, DeJuan Harris Jr. did not participate in his senior festive. The assumption is he'll be back to Kansas, and along with KJ Adams. Jalen Wilson and Grady Dick and NBA Kevin McCullough might follow suit. Although the Jayhawks leaned on Wilson for prospect billing, isn't high as a freshman. His teammate Grady Dick, according to the Bleacher Report, five-star Elman Jackson, 21 overall prospect, is the headline of the 2023 Kansas Jayhawks. Also including Chris Johnson and number 34 and Jamar McDell, number 99. Should the NCAA approve of Martin's request for a medical red shirt, a fourth slot would be available. Otherwise, any transfer KU adds will be the product a current scholarship becoming open. Mizzou's situation: the best player on the team, Kobe Brown, is said to be a late second-round draft pick. Reminder: there are only 2 rounds, so his question would be if he would make a team. So the question is, does he return? Currently, Damari Hodge and DeAndre Goldston and Trey Gilman can't return. They also had some great thank yous to Gates. Seems like the players loved him, and what a year Missouri had, even though losing in the second round. Isaiah Mosley, Nick Honor, and Sean East all can return despite having played their fourth season because of COVID. Early word is Honor, Carter, and East are all expected to return. Mosley and Brown are welcome back, and Murari and Diarra, Ronnie Gray, and Caleb Brown, and Adrian Edition all have additional eligibility. Lewis, the 4-star recruit who averaged 10.4 points at junior, transferring from Eastern Kentucky. He went to Logan last year. At Logan, he shot 48% from the three, so he'll be right there with all the Tigers that like to shoot threes. The 4-star recruit, Jordan Butler, 7 foot, 195 pound, put size on he could lean a little more towards the heavier side. The other recruit, Trent Prince, 6'8", power forward, 4-star recruit. Put some strength on these guys. They're not even as heavy as me at 200, and they say I'm at healthy weight, and these guys are 9 to 12 inches bigger than me, and they're a lot skinnier. 6'2", 175, 4-star recruit. Anthony Robinson also included. The one team with the taller team would hope to be a better rebounding team. Now let's go through the rest of the schools in the NCAA tournament. We'll do more on Kansas State in the week, especially on Thursday. The first team to play at 6:30 on Thursday, Michigan State. Speaking of that, here's your scores from Sunday and Saturday's game. We'll start with Saturday. Saturday's final score: Missouri loses again, 78-63. San Diego State beats Furman, 75-52. Tennessee beats Duke, 65-52. Arkansas gets a surprising one over Kansas, number 1 seed, 72-71. Houston over Auburn, 81-64. Texas over Penn State, 71-66. UCLA over Northwestern, 68-63. Alabama over Maryland 73-51. And Xavier over Pittsburgh 84-73 on Sunday. Kansas State 75-69. Marquette, Michigan State 69-60. Michigan State over Marquette. Number 4, UConn beats number 5 70-55. Baylor loses to Creighton, the 6 seed, 85-76. FAU beats Bear Dickerson, who had the big upset over Purdue, 78-70. Miami, Indiana Hurricanes, 85-69. TCU, 84-81. Those two teams move on to Thursday and Friday's games. Now we'll go through the teams that play in Kansas City. In the Midwest matchup, it will be Houston and Miami. Tip is at 6:15. 5 versus a 1. The other one will be a Texas, Xavier. Texas at 2, Xavier at 3. Could be the best game of the day. Expected to be Friday's game. Tips off at 8:40. Those teams will play for a spot in the Final Four. Texas and Houston, and both in their home state. If either one wins, they will play in their home state. If Houston wins, they will play in their own city, as what they call it. NFL news, Gardner Minshew signs a contract. He has no expectations. He's got to be at least, he'd be holding the clipboard. He's got to be at least worse than Nick Foles. Has to be better for the starting position. So expect him to be third string eventually by the end of the season if the Colts draft a quarterback. Raiders sign former Texan O.J. Howard at the tight end. Brandon Cooks traded to the Cowboys for a 5th round draft pick and a 6th round 2023, 5th round and a 2024 6th round with an overall of 1,000 yards in 6 of his 8 years. Last year wasn't over 1,000 yards. The 29-year-old, I do believe the Cowboys won the trade, but he does turn 30 during September, so you never know. Cooks has 2 years left on the deal, which is seen to be the right deal. Bills sign expatriate Damian Harris after losing Devin Singletary. McCole Hardman returns to his hometown, Georgia. The Falcons' former chief wide receiver Kenny Golladay could be a chief receiver mentioned on 8-10. Odell Beckham Jr. is another one. The Cardinals are seemed to be shopping DeAndre Hopkins. I don't see it as the Chiefs. We'll go through the NLS tomorrow. The Royals open their season on March 30th. This is Sam Vaughan.
So let's get your impression. There's this debate as to whether or not Bill Self being out was the difference in KU winning or not winning the game. I don't know. He would have helped.
I thought it was a difference in the game.
I think he would not have burnt a timeout in an obvious drive and no foul situation with the opposition. I thought Norm Roberts the biggest mistake that I saw him make was taking that timeout right at, but bringing the ball across half court and getting a timeout. And then they came out and I didn't understand what they were trying to accomplish. There certainly was no Bill Self magic inbounds play that was used there. And I think it was a poorly used timeout. He should have just run the ball up. Let's get to the basket hard. Let's get a score because they're going to be in a no foul situation. A lot of times guys don't score in that, but you're Kansas. You've got some dudes. DeJuan Harris to the rim, get the bucket, then the timeout. Now let's set the press and let's take the ball away. That was the most glaring thing that I saw. Did anything jump at you?